NASA. This is one of the towers that got us to safety among the stars. I bet that elevator shaft will take us deeper inside NASA. Might need to work through some rubble. It's way too cold. This is absurd. Crew preparation area. I can't imagine how tense and chaotic it must have been.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatian. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those two military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in material science, metallurgical engineering. Oh, we have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Like a structural collapse of the underlying strata. Typical of karst topography. They had a museum, but this whole place is a museum now. Anyway, looks like an exit at the end of the hall.
Came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Like this across the globe, scientists figured out how to save our species. These are the heroes. Final days of humanity on Earth must have been a special sort of hell for hopeful scientists. at that. Vasco definitely takes after this side of the family. Imagine if they hadn't been able to convince people to invest this much. I wonder if humanity would still be here. The artifact isn't far now. But look at all this stuff. Simply astounding.
Project Log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us, it's all going to be possible.
Project log, Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjite tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
Well, they don't need it now.
never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
What? So it wasn't just a fluke? A terrible but inevitable disaster? The crab drives? things here and make a second trip.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel, at the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the Emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Don't be a fool. The Emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he's right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Yes, I also like picking winners.
Fine. You two have made your choice. The usual place?
The buried temple. Oh yes, we'll be there.
I'm sorry it's come to this.
You and I better have a chat. Talk through the next steps. I have a little favor I want to ask you, too. Keeper Aquilus, my illustrious counterpart. He's a loose end that needs tying. Let me take in this moment. It's not every day you get to send an assassin after yourself. Good luck. Yes, more questions? Oh, it's a little playground where Starborn like to fight over the last artifact before going to the Unity. You like it? It's got everything. No, this is how it works. Trust me. I've tried this a bunch of ways. The Emissary will wait at the buried temple for us. Gives you a little time to prepare before the final throwdown. And for our part, we wait to kill them until we get there. I mean, maybe the Emissary will kill us instead, but I like our odds. If I were you, I'd find as many of the temples as I could. You'll need all the power you can get. Oh, I'm not missing this. I'll be meeting you there.
There's so many mysteries in the universe, so many unknowns that I try to help out others whenever I get the chance. Did you find it? Your answers? I haven't had the chance to talk about all the truths of Unity in quite some time. Oh? And what lesson would that be, I wonder?
And I'm sure many more as well. Doesn't mean we have to interview every human in existence before we act.
Ah, an interesting theory. When you cross into a new universe, what do you really bring with you? Your beliefs, for one. Anyway, if you do get to the Unity, I hope you keep our conversations in mind. Figure out your own truth and hold on to it. It could end up being the only constant you have amidst the infinite worlds that will stretch out before you. Of course, how could he not? It's exactly what I would do if I was still as lost as he is. You are never fully separate from your other selves, not completely. Do we somehow share a soul, and is it merely our actions that differ? Another of a million questions to ponder. And leave you to join my counterpart to enter the Unity? Are you prepared to take that step into the infinite? What kind of person is heading through there? I do love the semantic disagreement the enlightened and I have between humanity and faith, but I see your point. Ah, but is that all you've learned? What else? Ah, but an idea is more than just one person's life, isn't it? I'll admit, I'm a bit disappointed. I had hoped you would find your path. Perhaps it will take a bit longer. But I will do as you say. I'll leave. Well, I'm glad we managed to avoid that. I'll need to make some arrangements here, and then I'll be gone.
So, how was it? Did you kill Aquilus, as I asked? Or did you let him go? Oh, come on. You don't think it crossed my mind that you might not do it? That you might just tell him to run away? Are you sure? He isn't, say, hiding somewhere he thinks I won't find him? Quick and clean. Good. You think I wanted him dead out of fear? That's the funniest thing you've ever said. Very well. Funny. Doesn't quite feel the way I was expecting. Well, no matter. Next universe, I'll handle it myself. See if that makes a difference.